Hi, my name is Gobi, and I'm the founder of Learning Dollars. We live in a very interesting world where 40% of the world has access to the internet, and yet 8 richest people in the world control half the wealth of the world. There is an extremely interesting and lucrative business opportunity based on these facts. And the core solution to this problem of inequity is online freelancing. And the person who solves this will certainly make a lot of money. Today, I'd specifically like to talk about hiring freelancers to build your backend first. So backend first development. This stems from one of my happiness points about, which is a life philosophy lesson in general. It is to weigh pros and cons before making decisions, do practical short-term items before long-term impractical ones, and to parallel process items in life in general. Parallel process does not mean multitask. I will give an example now of how this applies to the specific problem of backend first development. Say you're an excited entrepreneur and you have specs for an app, an Android app, an iOS app, a site, a VR app, an AR app, an email service, a worker scraper that scrapes data from the internet and inserts it into your database, an AI engine that does deep learning on your data, and an IoT app that integrates with an app that integrates with non-conventional items like refrigerators and microwaves and parking meters, etc. You are very excited about these user-facing front-end designs of these applications that will connect to the internet. What I would like to suggest to this entrepreneur, you the entrepreneur, is to stop, relax, and first focus on the back end. In the words of Professor Henry Petrosky, engineering is achieving function while avoiding failure. And I think this is a much better quote than the quotes about hacking by Silicon Valley entrepreneurs that mislead young entrepreneurs into thinking that they can just hack together products and lead them to build low-quality products. I think that what's a better approach is to actually design, but don't build those front ends that you're very excited about. Then use those designs to figure out what data your backend will need to store. Then start by building a beautiful REST API. Use a framework that lets you express what your REST API has in it, or what your backend has in it. Like Django REST framework is what we use. And you can have your snippets, and your front-end developers will clearly see what data is there in the database and how to access it, and your users. It's a much better approach than trying to build the backend and the front end of a website in parallel, having the systems be not decoupled enough, not completely decoupled, and then trying to introduce other apps later into your system and having to redo the backend. And I would say that you should start with the REST API, see how much effort that takes, and then you'll realize how much effort building all of those front ends will take, and maybe decide to pick just a few for your initial launch of your company. So that's why we at Learning Dollars are releasing REST APIs as a service, or backends as a service, as our first product in our launch of the automated system of Learning Dollars, which is discussed in the pitch, which is another video in this video series. So thank you. That's it. So I hope this advice about weighing your pros and cons, parallel processing by actually doing the most core service first, the backend first, in your approach of development of your product. I hope that this helps you in being more efficient with your time as an entrepreneur and hiring freelancers from all over the world and building products that change the world. Thank you.